Hi guys, my name is Ian Schmertzler. I'm the president and CFO of Dispel. We are a cyber defense firm based on the East Coast of the United States. We have roughly 35 employees. We've been in business and selling products since 2015. This is the heritage of our lead engineers. The most important thing, though, that I want you guys to take away from this slide is that we're real. Tens of thousands of people rely upon our product working every single day. So when a company calls us up and buys a product from us, it's usually for one of three reasons. They want to protect some system that is unpatched or unpatchable. They want to protect the things that give their firm intrinsic value, be that an IoT ecosystem, data, communications, or people. Or they just want to work safely with a firm that they don't completely trust. So first off, why are these still problems? For lack of an alternative option, cyber defense has been an exercise in building castles. And then over time, adding more and more walls to them, maybe a maze, maybe putting a scout out in the field. Two observations about castles. First of all, they don't move. And second of all, they're really easy to find. So if you give someone enough time, they're going to find your castle, and then they're going to watch it until they find a way to break in, as illustrated by this Trojan turkey. I got a smile out of that. That's good. Okay. The important point from all of this is we've known it's a bad idea for a long time. There hasn't been an alternative. In traditional warfare, the solution has been to take the things you care about most, put them in a vehicle, and move them around, preferably in a medium which keeps it hidden. A perfect example of this is a submarine. Dispel's intellectual property allows us to build the equivalent of a submarine, but in cyberspace. The main difference is we aren't hiding something in an ocean. We're hiding it in the cloud. So what does that look like? Of course, this is a high-level diagram, but use some imagination. That atom symbol, that's what you care about. I'll tell you how you actually put that stuff in there in a minute. That hull, that's the hull of your submarine. In network speak, what is that? Those are cloud servers. And if you were to look at this network over time, it would be changing constantly. Now, at 7 a.m., you might have a Vultr server, a Google server, an Azure server in there. By 9 a.m., you get the point. I see some nodding heads. So the main thing is, though, you aren't going to be needing to see this. Some engineers we sell this to really want to. But for the most part, you don't worry about all this. And from an attacker's perspective, they don't see this network. What they see, instead of your organization's entire network, are individual machines connecting to completely disassociated cloud servers and looking an awful lot like someone who's watching Netflix, checking out Facebook. You get the point. So what this does is it takes that whole defense paradigm that you had before, where you've built yourself a castle and now you've got to wait until someone comes and pokes at it, and you flipped it on its head. The attacker is constantly running around, having to not only map your system, but redevelop the attacks that they were going to launch into it once they find it. And from a perspective of investment and where our product sits relative to most everyone else, almost every cybersecurity product on the market right now is in the red zone. They assume that you have got a cannon pointed at you and it's firing at you. And that's a reasonable assumption these days. We sit out at the reconnaissance stage. So if you guys haven't had an opportunity to listen to General Keith Alexander, former head of the NSA, he talks about where they put their resources. They put most of their resources into reconnaissance because that's the hard part. It's not the weaponization phase. So I hope that you're all thinking that's really cool. I'm also assuming that you're thinking, that's pretty complicated. We wouldn't be in business if it was complicated for you guys. Launching one of these networks and then setting it up takes less than an hour. And from the perspective of how you connect to one of these things, if you've got hardware, we just plug something into it, good internet in one side, bad internet out the other, you're safe. Alternatively, if you've got an IoT ecosystem, we can do this with a line of code. And if you have people who actually like downloading apps, most people don't. You can download it, push a button, and you're in. As to what you can put in one of these things, the example I like to use is the stuff that we won an award from Gartner for, which is our collab suites. That's when you want to work with a company that you don't particularly trust. We can cram into one of these things a data room, telephone servers, video conferencing systems, a messaging room, a log server underneath it all to watch, and then virtual desktops to do the work without needing to leave the box. So the next time you're thinking about protecting an unpatched or unpatchable system, or you want to protect the things that give your firm the value that you so hope to keep, or you're just trying to collaborate with someone you don't completely trust, before you go and build another wall, think about giving us a call. Thank you.